You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now, or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAC Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode.
You know how long I've been waiting for this?
Hello, and I'm addressing the camera again. Hello, and welcome to It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 180. We're coming from you.
We're coming
for you. We're coming at you on Tuesday, August 20th. You'll be hearing this on Friday, August 23rd.
August is almost over. You know what that means? Back to school.
A lot of people are going
Actually,
back to
yeah,
school.
that's crazy. That's I also definitely noticed the uptick in traffic this morning.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I shouldn't even think about
The
that.
traffic was terrible today. I was actually legitimately 5 minutes late to work today.
Oof.
And I was like,
Oof,
I
you
left at the
cannot
normal
do
time
that.
that I normally always have been for the last 4 weeks.
But you were late.
But I was late.
But I was late.
Yeah, we'll see. There isn't really a time where there isn't traffic here. It's kind of crazy. I left at I went to an event on Sunday, and I went to this place. I went to that sandwich shop I told you guys about.
Yeah,
Again?
the big gourmet sandwiches.
Gourmet is a word that I probably wouldn't
The big
associate with it.
the big sentences, the big sandwiches.
The big sentences.
Uh-huh.
The big fuck off sandwiches.
I
there.
sentenced you to 2 sandwiches in the sandwich dungeon.
Well, I guess I'll just have to eat 2 sandwiches. Doctor said I had to.
They're just big fuck off sandwiches that are like $20, but they're fucking amazing. Fat Sal's, shout out Fat Sal's. Not that they need any business, because they're doing pretty well, but they're open till like 3 a.m. And I left this event around like 10:45 p.m. Went straight to Fat Sal's to get me a Sammy, and then went home. And dude, it was like midnight. It was like 11. It was like 11:30, and it was just like there was no traffic, but it was just like the freeway is just filled with people. And I was like, it's a Sunday. What are we doing? It's
The
crazy.
city that never sleeps. New York, huh?
New York.
New York.
And I, like, even last night when I was cooking dinner, I don't live that close to the freeway, but I live close enough that even at like midnight last night when I was
can
cooking
hear it.
dinner, my window open and I could just hear everything. I was like, where are these fucking people going? Where are they going? And where are they coming from? And that's what we're going to figure out today. Folks, this week on the show, we are gonna keep this one to about an hour, but we got a lot to get to. We're gonna be giving a little update on we didn't talk about it on the show because it happened during our off week, but we're gonna be talking about the Albanian boxer who was what's the word I want to use? What's like how would I
Vilified.
yeah, because I wanted to say like not racially profiled, but like sexually profiled, and then I was like, I don't know if that works. But pretty much they were misgendered
Yeah.
in like a very fucking crazy, insane, stupid way that wasn't even true, and it was so fucked up, and for so many reasons. I'm sure you guys already know what we're talking about. It's been talked about to death, but I really wanted to talk about it when it happened, but we couldn't. So now there's a little bit of an update on it that I would like to share with everybody.
And then I shared a tweet underneath that.
Yes, yeah, that I haven't read yet, so I'm curious to know for you to share that with us.
Yes.
And then we're going to be talking about Gavin. Explain. I mean, obviously don't go into it yet, but so what is this about? This next thing, Zack Hample.
So Zack Hample is this guy who has a record collection of home run balls, and Orioles fans don't like him.
Uh-oh.
And there's a long backstory there with it, but we share I share good news for the Orioles fans and also some pretty big baseball fans that Zack Hample did not get a home run ball when he attended this latest Orioles game.
I'm excited to talk about that because I don't know anything about this guy. And then we got some other memes and randoms to go over. Some clips of the week, which I'm really excited to dive into, so to speak. And of course, a next door drama. It's back again this week. We got a pretty good one.
Is this from the Midwest again?
Yes. Yeah, I still have not. I haven't had time.
Still Midwest Princess hours.
Yes. Shout out to Chapel Chacaron.
They played. Well, we'll get into that later.
Oh yeah, yes. And then what you listening to? We do every week. So let's get right into it, Gavin. You got to meet someone who I love very much from the Dodgers.
Right.
This past week, you met him. I'm sure you got to hang out. You have a lot of stories to share.
You know, I met him and everything like that. But no. So this weekend, me and a couple of my buddies, shout out Dylan and Sam, went to the Cardinals game versus the Dodgers, in which the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-2.
Which is good. I mean,
you're still a Cardinals fan.
I'm Cardinals over Dodgers, but here I'm Dodgers over everybody besides the Cardinals.
Right.
When they're in town.
Including Angels.
Oh, yeah, of course. Fuck the Angels. Nobody gives a shit about them. I was going to say, this means that you have seen the Dodgers play more times than I have, which is absolute nil. Right now. Yeah, I've never seen them play. I would like to.
I've seen them play a couple times. I've seen them,
rub it in.
No, not this season. Not this season. I've seen him play a couple times in history.
I don't think I ever have. I've seen the Yankees.
Yeah, you went to the Yankees game.
I've never seen the Dodgers though, that I know of.
But yeah, so this weekend we went and I enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed myself. And
wow.
On the way out, we took a wrong turn, for lack of a better word. We just. I thought we were on the other side of the field, so I said go right outside of the field, and we had to go around like the Broadway Oyster Bar and like patios, if you're familiar with the St. Louis Busch Stadium area. So we walked down a block, over a block, up a block, because there's like a big like lot for like players parking underneath like 64 or 44 or one of the two. And I don't remember what highway that is, but anyway, there's a highway on one side of Busch. There's actually a highway on two sides of Busch, I believe. No, that's 64. It's definitely 64.
Yeah, the one that literally like wraps around it.
Yeah. And so there's a big players parking lot, so we had to walk around the players parking lot essentially. And as we're getting like around towards like home plate, like green seat area where like normally you would go if you have like green seats or home plate or like first base side, there's this kind of like players only entrance, like employees only entrance.
Yeah.
And we passed by it, and in the past I haven't really thought of it as like an employees only, meaning like MLB players walk through this door.
Sure.
But like that's what it is they have like a metal detector, they have like, and I'm like, that's weird that they would have this for like, you know, whatever reason.
Were there fans like out there?
No fans walk. No,
that's
like
so
there
weird.
It was so odd because there are fans that were walking around and no one else noticed it. So we're walking out, and I see this guy walk. Yeah, I'm walking in. And there's this guy kind of getting shown the way. And I'm like, why is this guy getting special treatment? Like, he's a security detail around him. He's got a guy leading him, kind of like pointing and showing him where to go. And then a guy walking behind him with like some bags. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. So I like make eye contact with him, or like, you know, I look him like dead in the eyes. I'm like, that's Mookie Betts. And I was like, guys, that was Mookie Betts. And they're like, what? And they just kept walking. And I'm like, that was literally just Mookie Betts. He just walked right by me.
That's crazy.
So I guess if you want to get a baseball card signed, you can stand outside that player's exit. I don't know if that's like a designated one, but he definitely was like trying to get out. You know what I mean? Like he was like keeping his head down, like trying to keep him, you know, low profile. I definitely fucked him up, and I definitely like brought a spotlight to him that he did not want to have after a baseball game.
Oh,
so.
Do you think he heard you say that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh.
But even if he didn't, then or even if he did, I'm sorry, Mookie. I didn't mean to bring attention to you when you didn't want it.
I'll let him know. He'll be okay with it.
Thank you.
And you have pictures of this, right? You said you told me you had pictures. You wanted me to pull those up.
Yeah, nope, no pictures.
Huh. That's weird
yeah.
because I remember you getting pretty annoyed with me whenever I saw Bull at the airport and I didn't take any pictures of him.
Well, like, yeah,
And you didn't. You wanted to not believe me.
we were walking.
'Cause I
He
didn't
was
have any
walking.
pictures.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I was waiting for an airplane that he got off of.
Oh yeah, he was walking out while you were walking in, base.
Where would you think would be a better place to stop someone in the on their way out of a baseball game or on the way off of an airplane?
Those are both so terrible.
Yeah, they both suck pretty bad. But I just had to give you
That
shit.
like I
'cause-
would feel so bad. I would have felt so bad if I was like, Mookie, can I get a picture?
Hey, Mookie.
Like after he just played 9 innings,
Right.
Like, lost 2, and I'm wearing a full Cardinals fit.
Yeah, he would have been like, sure,
Like it would be.
sure,
I would
man.
kind of feel like, I
you're
would
not
feel
really a
kind of like an
fan.
ass because I was like the one fan
Yeah,
that recognized him walking out of the stadium, and then
Mhm.
2, like, got a picture with him. There's definitely
Yeah.
much more deserving fans. There's people. There were quite a few like international fans at the at this. It was, I mean, in all honesty, there was a huge section of Dodgers fans at this game,
yeah,
and they were. But yeah, it was great. It was a great game, and there was a lot of. I mean, Shohei Ohtani's from Japan, and there were a lot of Japanese fans there.
yeah. I mean, I mean, there's historically been a lot of Asian American or Asian players that have come over and have had like a big following, but I feel like this is the first player in our generation that's had like this kind of massive cult following that I know of.
Yeah,
at least,
and I think I would say Ichiro was pretty high up there, but
Right.
the Cardinals
Yeah.
only I think literally ever played Ichiro
we had him
once every
He
like
was-
2 years.
He was on the Cardinals.
No, he was not on the Cardinals, but he could have
Oh.
visited the Cardinals stadium like every 2 years
I see.
at
I
best.
see.
So
I was gonna say I didn't think he
'Cause
was
this
on
is-
the Cardinals.
because Carson, I know we talked about this at the baseball game whenever we went, but there was a lot
Yeah.
more interleague play there.
Oh yeah. We
Yeah, right.
we saw the Orioles play. Speaking of,
We
we'll
did,
talk about
yeah.
it in a bit.
Yeah.
Doing some interleague, which
Yeah.
you can do at the bedroom for just 99 cents at home.
Right.
Um,
But yeah, so that was interesting. That was something I noticed. I'm a bit of a noticer at these baseball games.
oh yeah. But you did get to
uh,
see Shohei play.
Yes, I did. I saw him hit a home
Or
run
hit.
and steal a base.
Oh, he did hit a home
and get
run.
a walk. He literally got the 2. He was the only 2 runs the Dodgers scored that game.
Damn, that's crazy.
He scored both the runs.
That's
Yeah.
cool. You got to
And
see
they
him hit a
lost.
home run though. That was something because whenever not to bring it back to the Yankees again, but when I saw the Yankees play, it was like during Aaron Judge's like big,
60,
home
right?
run. Yeah, 60. And I was like, I'm not a Yankees fan, but man, I just want to see him do one home run and I'll
Yeah.
be cool. And
Yeah.
he didn't, which sucked.
I anytime that there was a home run during this game, I was on my phone looking something up to like show to my friends that I knew something.
Uh-huh.
That's my thing that I do whenever I get drunk is I try to show my friends I know something, especially if I'm at a
course.
baseball game.
You have to.
I have to. It's just I have to do it. And if I don't do it, I get like, angry and upset. So,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
He becomes an angry drunk. You don't want to be around
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. There was a Dodgers fan right next to us who like was from
Uh-oh.
LA and he moved here for school. He went to SLU. And
A bit of an
yeah.
opposite.
yeah, and he was blue blood though.
Blue ball.
And he was really chill, but I definitely said like fuck the Dodgers like to his face, or like yelled it super fucking loud after we
Uh-huh.
won, because they had the Helsley lights come on again. Like we got to see Helsley pitch. That shit is so sick.
That's
dude.
cool. I'm glad we got to see that when we went. See it for my last time ever. I don't know if it's ever. That's cool, dude. I'm
But yeah, so
I'm
I
jealous.
saw Mookie and dapped him up. Gave him a hug.
course. Told him that you tell him about me.
I just said, yeah, my friend just moved out there.
You should visit him. You can stay
You
at his
should
place
visit the guy.
sometime.
He's over in Burbank. You know where that is?
Do you know where that is? Huh? You ever been there?
Big bowler. Big bowler, Mookie Betts.
Really? Bowler?
Mm-hmm.
Bowling? Did
Yeah,
I know
he's
that?
huge into bowling. He's really good at bowling too.
I think I knew that. Maybe we were sending clips around about that. I can't remember. Gavin, I have a few things to share with you that have happened to me in the past week. If you would like to
Yeah.
hear them,
Let's hear it.
and then I don't know if you had any more. I know you want to talk about fantasy football. I'll just start with in order of what's happened first. I think it was like the day after we recorded last week. I had someone knock on my door, which was very odd because I don't know who would be visiting besides like, the maintenance
office hours guys.
The maintenance, or well, no, they don't even have my address. I've given nobody my address. They actually don't, not for any reason, but it's only been like the maintenance person is the only person who's ever stopped by twice.
Right.
And so I was like, what the fuck? And so I went and answered the door, and it was a salesperson, and I was like, here we go. And
What were they selling?
well, they were from Verizon, and they first of all they had I think they had a French accent. It sounded like very thick French accent to the point where it was like hard for me to understand at times.
She's like, I'm from Verizon.
Hello, I am from Verizon.
Verizon.
I guess it was French. It was some sort of European accent I couldn't pin down, but it was just very odd because
Je m'appelle. You said sacré bleu.
Zachary Blue, you finally have showed up. She was definitely sticking to a script to a T, like was not going to venture off from the script that she had, because I realized it pretty quickly that she was just going over a script in her head, because she goes, "Oh, I'm assuming you have
AT&T?
Spectrum. You have Spectrum," and I was like, "Yeah," and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." And then she would pause for a second, and then I would just kind of be like nod, and then she would go back into the script again, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" No. She was what I realized she was doing, because she did it again, is she was like pausing for me to laugh or something. She would like, even if I
really?
didn't laugh or say anything, she would still pause, because she did it again. She was like, "So I'm assuming you're paying around like, I don't know, $70 a month." And I was like, "Oh yeah," and even though I don't even know if that's what I'm paying or not.
Yeah.
And
Who
I was like,
cares,
"Oh
man?
yeah," and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." And then she paused again, and I did it. I was like, "What is happening right now?" It was literally like a robot. Yeah, she would like pause. She was like, it was literally like she was reading the script, and it would get to the part in the script that said pause for a response.
Yeah.
And because she would literally sit there, and then she would go, "Okay, so," I was like, "What the fuck?" It was so weird. The weirdest thing I've ever.
Then you said bonjour.
Bonjour. She's like, "I am not French."
Au revoir.
Au revoir, sacre bleu. So that was
Sacré bleu.
that was very odd. I've never quite had a salesperson like that.
Well, and also coming up to like an apartment complex, I've never had that happen before.
Yeah, and like not to give anything away, but my apartment building is pretty small. It
It's
only
open
has
air
a few.
too, right?
Yeah. It only has about, which I guess is why, because there's no gate.
Yeah.
But there's only like about like 10 units, so very specific to single us out. It's just very odd. It was very weird.
I'm curious to know if she has a
okay.
map of like where she hits or like where she needs to go, because they like don't have Verizon coverage there. They know.
Well, yeah, because that was the weird thing too. Is whenever I first answered, I thought she was just like, because she was like, "Oh, hey, like I'm from Verizon. We just want to let you know that we've been doing some construction in the area to get like Verizon coverage in this area." And I thought she was just like telling me that, or I thought she was telling me that there was construction coming up, just for me to be aware. Because sometimes like back at home,
yeah.
like Ameren, our electrical company, would like stop by our house and be like, "Hey, we need to, get in your backyard to do something with the poles, or we're going to be doing some construction in this area in like a week or whatever."
Spire does that where they tear
Yeah.
up the roads and like put in new fiber internet.
Yeah. So that's what I was expecting. And then she went to the sales pitch, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
what did I get stuck into?"
Oh fuck! How long was she there?
Too long. I don't know.
Too damn long.
It ended with like, because that's where she went to the "Oh, you're paying this much a month," or she was like, "Even though you're paying this much a month, you don't want to switch to Verizon." And I was like, I gotta look into it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know.
Can't tell you.
I couldn't tell you. Very weird. But then, so last Thursday was my first time being in the Office Hours studio, which I will be in every week.
Frequently.
Every time we have a show, I'll be there. Including, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm not really giving anything away.
Will it be out by the time that this episode comes out?
It will not, but that's okay. People already know it's happening, but they don't know this part, which is the fact that so we have a live show Thursday, but then Friday, we're recording an unplugged episode, which is just going to be an episode of the show pre-recorded. And Matt will be on vacation, so I will be filling in for him for the first time, which will be fun. But jumping ahead a little bit, or jumping back now, first week in, I get there and find out that Vic took a personal day and wouldn't be in studio. And Tim was like, and I was planning on sitting next to Matt just to, learn more of what he does and make sure I had it ready to go for this week. And Tim was like, "Oh, do you want to sit in Vic's spot and fill in?" I was like, "Sure, cool." I was just kind of like taken off guard by that, I guess dream come true, a dream that I didn't even have because I would have never in a million years thought that would have been a possibility for any reason.
Right. And it's not, and like you were only in this for like the fame and stuff. So like this was a big break for you.
This was it. I'm quitting after this.
Yeah. I'm going home now.
Oh, I'm flying straight home tomorrow with all my belongings. So that's just like, it completely caught me off guard, but I was like, of course I want to do that. Why would I not?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
And I said, "Oh, I'm like, do you want me to do drops too?" Like as a joke, because I knew what the response would be. And he was like, "No, that's okay." No. And I was like, "Yep." Yeah. I'm like,
I was
knew
happily
that was
expecting you to have one though.
Well,
you know
people
what I mean?
thought
I was like,
people thought I were. People thought I was doing it because I
People
was like,
thought
I like looked like I looked like I were, because I was on my computer, but I was doing my job.
Right. No, that's what I was like. I like my dad asked. He's like, was he was he on the episode? I'm like, yeah, he was like on the front and center screen. Like just behind Tim. And I was like, I'm not sure what he was doing though.
Yeah, because it looks like I'm doing
you didn't
something.
say anything. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't much to say.
And it's just like, it was a last minute thing. It wasn't like hey, can you talk through the whole episode?
Right. Yeah. It wasn't like, oh, it's your turn to contribute.
Yeah. Like, you gotta know your place. This is also my first time doing anything like that too. So I'm not just gonna be like, fucking taking up a bunch of time. But yeah, everybody thought I was, because I was like doing stuff on my computer, but I was just doing literally what my job is of, moderating, and then we do some live social media posting, but also jotting down notes of things that are happening, and whatnot. But yeah, that was really fun. We had some fun bits during the show. And
you had like texted me that you were going to be on like that day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went to lunch and I tuned in because it starts at noon here. And I went to lunch at like noon 15, and I was like, holy shit, he's actually on there. I thought you were joking. I was like, no way.
Well, yeah, because I was like, I literally just texted you and my mom, because I was like, I'm not gonna like make a big thing out of it, at least not yet. Like it hasn't happened.
Right.
But yeah, it was fun. I got to wear they wanted me to. The joke was that I was Vic, and I just took some supplements to look younger. So I wore a Vic style hat. And I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, it's actually funny because it's like a kind of a full circle moment, because the reason I even got into the show was because I was a big fan of Vic. I was also a fan of Doug and Tim, but like, I was a huge fan of what Vic did. And then now I've become Vic.
I am one with the Vic.
Yeah. I was thinking about that literally just earlier in the bathroom. I was like, oh yeah, I'm Vic now.
Yeah. That's what I do now.
That's just me. I am Vic. No, Vic will be back. But yeah, just a cool, unexpected thing, and funny to do that for the first time I'm in studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I had something else to share about it. I can't remember. What else?
You met with the guests. You socialized with them.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, no, Jane Marie. I'll see if I had that. Did I still have that over here? Where did I put that? Oh, did I put it down there? I don't know. She wrote it was an author who wrote a book, and I had She
It
gave.
was a pyramid scheme book.
Yeah, it was about It was about her pyramid scheme. No, it's about pyramid schemes. I don't
And
know if I can put it.
I was listening to what she had to say about it, and all that stuff is honestly, like, it's so fascinating, like, hearing, like, the bare bones, like, like kind of turned down, like, tear
Right.
down of, like, what they are. And,
Yeah.
like, the MLMs and stuff like that, and, like, hearing what like an expert in the MLM field, I suppose, like, what her opinions are of certain MLMs, and talked about, like, the bad ones and, like, the okay ones, and they're all bad, but, like, the better of them,
Right.
and,
Yeah, no, I really want to dig in. I'm excited to read this. It's called Selling the Dream by Jane Marie. But she was very nice, and I did feel a little bit profiled by her, though, if I had to say, because she thought I was a Cutco salesperson at one point, but I wasn't. It was just an experience I had of my mom getting scammed by a Cutco person. I mean, not really. She just bought a knife, and we
One
still
time.
have the knife. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it still
good. It's a
works.
decent
Yeah.
knife. But no, I was not a salesperson. But yes, she was super interesting. Carmen Christopher, comedian, was also on. He like busted in and had a joke talking about being a car man. He was super nice and he's really funny. I'm excited to watch his special. I still need to watch it. He's also on The Bear. Don't know if you heard of that show at all. It's kind of like a low key show or whatever. I don't
right.
know.
No one knows about that.
No one's
man.
really heard about it. Jeremy Allen Black or White. What is his name?
Yeah,
Michael
Jeremy Allen White, yeah.
Jackson White. But yeah, it was fun. What else have you been up to though?
So this was actually This was actually during my week off, I guess. Secondly, like right before we came on, I had to do my fantasy football draft.
You had to.
I had to, and they moved it up on me a week, so I would have been doing it like this past weekend. But unfortunately, they moved it up because my friend who is in our league had a football game to play. So we moved it. He has a preseason football game, and he showed out.
NFL play. Or
NFL play.
No, there's no jokes about that.
No
either.
joke about that. Like he actually did have a football game to be playing.
Yeah.
Versus the New Orleans Saints preseason game.
Could we get him on the show? Did we talk about that ever?
I think we could realistically get him on. It's just
think that'd be
difficult
fun.
with his schedule. It might be a late show for me, but for you, it would just be your time.
True. That's true.
And he would also have to, and it also might be on hotel Wi-Fi, which is a give and take. But
yeah.
I'd have to. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely ask him if he wants to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
Just for
but-
like a quick. It doesn't even have to be like a full thing. It can just be like a little segment too. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Because I want
he's,
to. We should talk about doing that with someone else. Another
Yeah.
professional athlete I know. I think would be fun.
Yeah, I think it's very realistic it could happen, but we moved it up a week, the NFL fantasy football draft, and I was doing it at work. Unfortunately, I did not want to do it at work, but don't tell anyone I was doing it at work.
Don't tell the man.
And I drafted. I went completely different this year. I went completely different. I don't have Patrick Mahomes. I don't have Cooper Kupp.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Didn't do it again. I had to do that 2 years in a row. But then it came up in conversations with the other pharmacists and some of the technicians there that they wanted to do a fantasy football league. So I might be doing two.
Oh shit!
Actually, I will be
double
doing
tipping.
2 leagues. So once I get that second draft in, we'll report those findings here. It is a 12-man league, which means that the players are going to be much more hard to come by.
Oh, right. Because more
people. And the more rounds,
but
and
then
less.
bigger prize pool.
It is a bigger prize pool. I think we have.
Talk about
I
those
think each person's
Somalians.
supposed to be paying in like $10 or whatever.
Oh,
so
that's $120 right there. Baby.
yeah, big ones for winning.
Put that all on green.
Or it'd probably be $100 for winning, or like $80 for winning first place, and like
Oh, true.
$30 for winning first place, $10 for winning third, or something.
You gotta tell them it's a winner take all. You gotta tell them you want all the money.
But yeah,
money
so
if you're gonna win.
Exactly.
What were you gonna say?
No, so that is what I had to do this week, and I also am working on some projects and stuff on the side for school, unfortunately. But I'm busy. All right, a guy's busy.
What can you do? What can you do if a guy is busy?
Right.
That's great, man. I'm happy to hear that. Do you want to know what I'm not happy to hear though, Gavin? You want to know what really grinds my fucking gears?
What's that, Carson?
I'm so goddamn sick of hearing and seeing the word demure. What the fuck is going? What is this trend? What is this? I literally cannot go on Instagram. I scroll reels for like 1 second and it's demure. This is demure.
Very demure,
And I'm like,
very shy.
what does the joke come from? What is it? I don't get it. I don't think it's funny. I'm just fucking annoyed by it. I do this every once in a while when a stupid trend starts and I keep seeing it, that like it's
You
the
don't have,
best
like,
way
the
for me
end.
to get off of my phone is I start seeing it too many times and I'm like, that's enough. And I set my phone down because I can't do it. It drives me insane.
This is it's the same thing with the Hawk Tua for Carson. I know Carson had to come on the show and talk about the Hawk Tua.
Yeah, that one did annoy me pretty bad too. I feel like this one's getting under my skin even more though. Because what is it? Can you explain it to me?
Basically, it was just, you know, someone made a TikTok and they were just saying like, you know, kind of like a brain rot kind of thing where they just like come up with buzzwords and people repeat it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Oh, okay.
And basically, it was just that like this girl was just explaining that, you know, you don't always have to go out, you know, go all out every time you go somewhere. You know, like if you got hungover and vomited on yourself, you know, whatever, just go get the meds that you need to go get and go home. Like you can go out however you look. You can have beans in your hair. It doesn't fucking matter. Just go do it.
And she said all
that? Basically, that was the message. But it was brain rotted into very demure, very careful, very shy.
Did she say that word in the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can pull that up.
Yeah, if you have the Jamie, if you have the original,
yeah,
I would
very demure,
love to
very
hear it.
mindful.
Did she not say very chic? I keep seeing very chic as well. Very
It was from
demure.
Jules LeBron on TikTok.
Jules LeBron over there in the Bronx.
Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna share my screen.
Sorry.
Slides as virtual background.
Sorry, folks.
Google Chrome.
We're trying out technology for the first time.
Can you see this?
I cannot yet. I don't know.
It's
why.
loading.
It's loading. Okay, now I can.
There it is. Okay.
You see how I do my makeup for work? Very demure, very mindful. I don't come to work with a green cut crease. I don't look like a clown when I go to work. I don't do too much. I'm very mindful while I'm at work. See how I look very presentable? The way I came to the interview is the way I go to the job. A lot of you girls go to the interview looking like Marge Simpson and go to the job looking like Patty and Selma. Not demure. I'm very modest. I'm very mindful. You see my shirt? Only a little chichi out, not my chocho. Be mindful of why they hired you. Here's your reality check, diva.
So
Okay,
that's it.
That's pretty funny. Can you send me that link? That is funny. But this is the problem. This is why I fucking hate on TikTok so much, is because everybody's like, "Ooh, that looks fun. I like that. Let me try."
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't. You don't have to do your own thing. And I'm fine. Like, listen, like I'm fine with people doing their own spin on that. But it's like when people are doing a spin on somebody else's spin on it, you know what I mean? When people are hawk toing on other people's hawk to,
right?
It's like we've lost the plot here.
Yeah, and that video
like,
I think is very funny. And like that's literally just explaining like
right, and it makes me
don't go all out. You don't have to go all out all the fucking time.
And
like,
she's
it's
doing
okay
it
to just
Yeah, and she's doing it in a very funny way, and she's saying very funny things. The Chi-Chi and the Chocho. That's hilarious. But it's like, you don't let that person just do it. You don't have to do it. But TikTok's made everybody be the fucking annoying kid at the birthday party who, like, when someone else gets the toy, they're like, "Oh, let me try. And it's like,
yeah,
I just got
that
this.
was you
What
with
do
my
you mean?
carpet slides, by the way.
It probably was, because I'm sure I was that. I know for a fact I was that kid at the birthday party.
I don't remember, but
not at your birthday
like,
specifically, but at others, I definitely was like that.
For sure. That was I think there was also allegedly there was like a beef between two creators about that. Like it was versus that Jules LeBron and someone else.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was like saline or something like that. I don't know. But they were, I'm not joking when I say that. They were like beefing about who came up with the very demure, very mindful shit. And
but
so there's a whole thing there, but
and that's my annoyance too, is like I didn't know where that fucking came from because I'm seeing everybody else doing their fucking dumbass version of it, or like you said earlier before we started, using it on a CVS email or whatever you said it was.
Yeah, I think CBS has already gotten into it.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know where this came from. I want to give credit to the original person. You know what I mean? Like maybe that could be a segment on our show, is like
Trends when where it came from.
Yeah, because you always know where they come from, and I'm always like, I'm fucking annoyed as shit with getting this a million times. And then usually when I see the original, I'm like, oh, it's funny. Besides the Huck too, I didn't think that was funny at all. I thought it was really dumb
No,
and didn't get the
wasn't
point
funny
of
at all.
it.
I think that yeah.
Very childish.
But that was
funny. The choo choo and the cho. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
Shout out Jules LeBron.
And it's a good message. You know what I mean? It's a good message.
It does have a good message behind it too, which is funny as well. Makes it even better. So I just had to rant on that because it was making me almost.
It was on your mind.
I was considering, ending it
Right.
because of it.
Yeah.
So moving on, as we said before, I'm sure you guys all heard about this. The Olympic boxer from Algeria, Iman Khalif is her name. A while ago when the Olympics were going on, it all started because she lost, she beat an Italian boxer, and it was like I don't know what you would call, I guess that'd be like a TKO, I think, where it's like the ref steps in and is like, okay, this is over. This person's not even like trying at this point.
Yeah, and she like tapped out like 38 seconds in or something like that.
And she was throwing a big like fit and was like really being kind of a bit much about it. And she ended up later on going on to apologize and saying that she, wanted to interact with Iman and, apologize and stuff like that, but was really being like super unsportsman about it is probably the better way to say it and whatnot. But that happened. And then of course, right-wing Twitter gets a hold of that and spins it into being that Iman was born a man and is a transgender, and all of this just disgusting stuff that factually and literally is not true in any sort of way. They were pulling stuff from like disbarred like Olympic boxing organizations that aren't even around anymore, and all of this fucking shit, and just being disgusting about it. And a lot of them came out later and like said that they were sorry, but it's like, you're fucking not.
Like
you knew
Jake
what you
Paul
were
said, he's
doing.
like, oops, I guess I did a misinformation or something like that. And
exactly. And then at the end of the message, they're still like, I still feel very strongly about
but
keeping
the
men
message
out
still
of it.
stands. The message still stands, guys.
Like, it even got so far that Trump was posting about it on Truth. Like, that is insane. And that should really, I really hope she also holds Trump accountable for that. So all of that happened, and it was really disgusting and gross. And I can't even imagine being in Iman's shoes. And
You're competing at like the top of your game.
Right.
You're competing at a world level, and you're getting slandered because you kind of look like a guy.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
you may look like a presenting man to some people.
Right.
And it's like, what? Like that's crazy.
It's so fucked. Like it's just like, oh, that person's not girly enough for you. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like I still can't believe that to this day we're still picking apart the way people look. And now, like, using it in a completely vilifying, literally just untrue way. Like, we want to talk about fake news. Like, what are you guys fucking doing? You are idiots. Like, you're not even trying to figure this out. And also, like, I don't know everything about the Olympic Committee as far as like transgender guidelines go. But I think we would have heard a long time ago that there was a transgender person competing in the Olympics in general. Because I don't think there are any yet, as far as I know.
No, there were. And they tried doing it to a Chinese boxer.
Yeah, they tried to do it again. Like, they just, like, crazy.
Like, it's just because they didn't look like a female. They look like a girl.
Yeah.
To them.
So all of that happened a while ago. Again, I'm sure you guys all heard about it, but we didn't get a chance to rant. But this just came out on the 14th, so last week, reported by, of course, NBC News,
One of our favorites.
that J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk are named in a cyberbullying lawsuit filed by Olympic boxer Iman Khalif. So she went back to Algeria and filed a lawsuit, a cyberbullying lawsuit against, or not against, but just naming these people. So I'll just read this. In a statement to Variety, Paris prosecute. Oh, actually, maybe it was in Paris. Or no, okay. The Paris prosecutor's office confirmed it received the complaint by Khalif that announced that an investigation had been launched on August 13th. The National Center for the Fight Against Online Hatred contacted the Central Office for the contacted the Central Office for the Fight Against Crimes Against Humanity and Hate Crimes to conduct an investigation into the counts of cyber harassment due to gender, public insult because of gender, public incitement to discrimination, and public insult because of origin. The lawsuit was filed against X, Twitter, which under French law means that it was filed against unknown persons. That ensures that the prosecution has all the latitude to be able to investigate all people, including those who may have written hateful messages under pseudonyms, said Bodie. The complaint nevertheless mentions famously controversial figures. J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk are named in a lawsuit, among others, he said. So actually, it looks like it was actually filed maybe in Paris, not in Algeria, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe
which
that
I
would make
think
more
is
sense.
probably holds a little bit more like volition.
I would guess so. Yeah, so yeah, it kind of just goes on. Doesn't mention anything about Trump, surprisingly. I mean, it mentions that Trump said something, but it doesn't say anything about Khalif filing a lawsuit against Trump separately. But I guess I didn't read this closely until just now, that it sounds like it's mostly just against X, because that's where most of it was going on, with J.K. Rowling tweeting, Elon tweeting, and
There was some
Jake
on
Paul,
Meta,
Paul.
Facebook, but
Yeah, and
not
Truth,
nearly
obviously.
as much.
Right. And if we're, thinking of this from a financial standpoint, X is going to have the most amount of money. I mean, well, Meta has the most, but it doesn't sound like a lot of it was coming from Meta. I mean, the majority of what we were seeing was coming from Twitter.
And if there's anybody that's worth suing, it's probably Elon Musk. To be
yeah.
completely honest with you, at this point in time.
Oh yeah, big time. But yeah, so that's you guys can go on and read more about this. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes, and hopefully hopefully this sets new precedents as far as like cyberbullying and stuff like that goes, because to have the owner of a social media company saying that stuff shows that we got some fucking, we got some work to do still.
And that social media company is not operating under like the everything platform. They're operating under like the hate platform.
Yeah, literally they're free speech, but it's, hate speech. 90% of it.
Good for her.
Yeah, no, seriously. I was very happy to see that. And then you link this tweet.
Yeah, which was that it had been it's been a couple days since J.K. Rowling has tweeted. She has deleted 27 tweets since being named in the lawsuit brought by Olympic women's boxing gold medalist Iman Khalif. Rowling has also not tweeted in 13 days. She just can't keep her fucking transphobic mouth goddamn shut.
But now she can for 13 days.
She had to. Probably. Her publicity people were probably like, JK, please
Just kidding.
fucking stop.
Just
Stop.
JK.
JK.
Yeah, I feel like I wonder. I mean, I don't know how far the suit has already gone, and it probably hasn't gone this far. But yeah, it was probably just that. I was gonna say maybe it was like a part of the suit where it's like, if you delete these tweets, and then you
won't get charged.
Yeah, or
Which
like
is
the
also very
charge will be
possible.
we settle and you delete your tweets, and then we go on our separate ways. But that's probably a little too soon. This was just filed, so I'm doubtful. But that was just posted today, so I don't know. Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, tell me about Zack Hample.
All right, so Zack Hample's been this guy who I think for around 10 years now he's been collecting baseballs. He's been collecting famous baseballs basically. He has like A-Rod's 3000th hit. You know what I mean? he's got some Aaron Judge home runs. He's got some groundbreaking home runs, right? Some record-setting home runs. I don't know what they are exactly. I'm not the biggest Zack Hample fan, and I don't want to tout this man as like a big, awesome, great guy, because there's plenty of people in the baseball world that have seen him and have footage of him pushing little children out of the way to get these balls. Whenever the children ask for them, he doesn't give them to them. And then the reason why Orioles fans don't really like him is because there's this guy known as Little Man on TikTok, and he makes YouTube videos of MLB The Show and TikTok content, and he live streams as well. And he has this clip where Cedric Mullins, I'll pull up the audio of it, but it's like Cedric Mullins, Little Man. But he's like always there. Like Cedric Mullins is always in the way, or like he's always catching. Like he never expected to be Cedric Mullins, but
I can't see this. Hold on.
No, I'm not showing it.
Oh,
right now,
sorry.
I'm trying to find the clip where he's just yeah, I think here it is. Yeah, here's the clip. Here's the audio.
But
so it's like it looks like it. Or hold on, I guess I will show the screen here. Sorry.
But
No, you're fine.
But so there's this guy, and he makes MLB The Show content. Give me a second. All right, here we go.
So that's Little Man.
This is Little Man up here in
Okay.
the corner there. Yeah, up here.
Oh, Angels fan.
but Sanders slow.
And that's Cedric Mullins right there. He
That's
plays in the
Cedric
Orioles.
Mullins again.
Oh, okay.
It's Cedric Mullins. Dude, I can't escape him.
So like he plays MLB The Show, and he has grown to not like playing against Cedric Mullins, because Cedric Mullins closes the gap really easily on plays.
Okay.
So he went to an Orioles game last season, met Cedric Mullins, was at a game where Cedric Mullins homered, and fans found out that Zack Hample had gotten the ball that Cedric Mullins had hit.
Uh-huh.
So
And they weren't getting that ball.
and he was not going to get that ball. And people were like, "Come on, man, just give it to Little Man." And he's like, "Who's that? Who's that?" And he's like looking around. He's like, "I don't see him. I don't see him." And I'll have to find it. I'll find a clip and I'll play it next week. But basically, he's just a jackass, and like he just collects baseballs because he wants to have like the clout of that. He's like
Yeah.
the kind of person to like not see these baseball players as players, but more as like performers and like entertainment artists. Which to an extent can be really annoying, and
Yeah.
not like it's just kind of gross. I don't know at this
Very
point.
entitled.
Yeah, exactly. So this weekend at the Orioles game, it was people. This first tweet here is from Relish Daddy, who was at there, and you can do me to share my screen here.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something you want to show me, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Is it a video?
No, it's not a video. It's just a picture.
Oh, you can just keep sharing it too if you want to.
Okay, cool.
You don't have to stop sharing it. That might be
Okay.
easier.
Yeah, it's gonna load real
Gonna
quick.
load.
Can you guys see my screen? Okay.
I can see it.
All right. So that guy in the black shirt, that's Zack Hample, and I guess he has a
Okay.
photographer that goes around with him. So he tweeted, Orioles gatekeeper at Relish Daddy tweeted, "The target is scoped and locked for destruction." And then someone said, "Link your Venmo, I got you if you tackle this fucker to the ground."
Holy
People do not
shit.
like him. People do not like Zack Hample. He's also like he's not a very big guy. Like it's
Yeah,
from
he
a
looks
from
like
a
a
distance, but he's a
little
little
man.
man. Yeah. So there's that. That was the first tweet I saw. And then later in the day, this was from at Dan Clark Sports. Zack Hample got bumped into a flagpole by an Orioles fan today and ate concrete. He missed out on both Rutschman and Henderson's home run balls, which were both over there. And from some eyewitness reports, got very upset and aggressive towards other fans about it. Orioles fans 2, Zack Hample 0.
I mean, good he didn't get it, but that's so gross that he got
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah, and like then it was someone had tweeted, "All relish daddy on that one. Adley's home run is not in Hample's possession," and he said, "I played defense on this one. Hample's the world won."
That's great.
So here's possibly a video from @deadbaseball, @dead_baseball, where they kind of break it down. They don't have any audio here, but so I guess Dead Baseball had planted a guy too. They worked around the stadium to like try and get Zack Hample to not get the fucking home run balls.
Okay.
Because if there's one thing the Orioles are now able to do is hit home runs to that side of the field.
Okay.
And that's Utah Street back there behind those fences there. So if they hit Utah Street, it's a pretty big deal because they get like a little like plaque on the ground that says like this player hit this ball on this day at this spot and it landed here. So here's they're pausing it and they're putting in text here. So you can see Hample in his black shirt there. And he's kind of getting boxed out. And that's Zack Hample here. Hample gets around him, but the other guy started to notice that and gave a little chase and then possibly grabbed him here by the shoulder, if you can see down there. So I'll just watch it one more time. So Hample kind of goes behind the flagpole to get around. So it's that's what he does. Is he's never in the area as it's happening, but he's always there like as it's all happening.
Right.
So it's like as people are trying to figure out where the ball went, people are trying to figure out who gets the ball, he's there and it's usually him. He's got his glove outstretched and he has it and he's like, showing it off.
I see.
Yeah, and yes, there were people that were defending, his behavior there. That were defending Zack Hample's behavior, that he if he's there for the balls, he rightfully deserves them. To an extent, I believe that there is to an extent there. But if you're going with the full extent of going to baseball games to get home run balls, and you like get them, it's really weird. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and if like you're I don't even have a problem with that. But I have a problem with you being like a dick about it and like getting in people's way and like being a nuisance. Like you're just a fucking nuisance if you're gonna block out kids from getting it and then like also throwing a fit that you're not getting it. And like, listen, if you're going there to do that and people know that, sorry, bud, people aren't gonna be that receptive to that and they're gonna notice. Like, you just got to suck it up. Like maybe you should just stop doing it then. Like that's just the way it's going to be, especially if you're a dick about it. Like if you're getting them and then giving them to people, but like there's a way you can get the ball and be like, you can keep some of them. Right. But you you make a thing about it. Like, oh, I caught another ball. Like I'm also going to go give it to this person now who also wanted it.
And he has made videos where he like does that, but it's like, that's also a video where it's just like a video where it's just like, I gave food to a homeless person.
Right.
It's like, you didn't have to make a video about that. Like, honest to God, if you're, a 30-something-year-old man, it should just be expected that you give the closest kid a baseball.
And that's the thing is like,
usually like the goal of the game is that it's like the big guys are going to get the balls for you. Don't worry.
Yeah. I guess that is a good point. Like it is weird as an adult for that to be your thing.
To be like, no, it's mine. I caught it.
Yeah. As an adult, like, grow up.
Yeah.
You got to grow up.
It's a little weird. And he makes videos about baseball, about how many baseball he catches and, all that stuff like that.
Congrats, buddy.
Yeah.
Go talk about Hot Wheels or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like it's the same thing.
Yeah. It's odd. It's a little odd, and no one in baseball really likes him. There are some Zack Hample defenders. There are people who are fans of Zack Hample, and they...
Why? You're a fan of a guy who catches home run balls?
Yeah, I guess so. Collectors and stuff like that it's like he's kind of mastered the art of getting people out of the way and getting balls. Right. He's kind of mastered that art, and like he's able to probably make a profit on those balls too. But the thing about it is that I would doubt he gets them authenticated through MLB, so he could just be selling fake balls if he does sell them.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, if he's doing it for profit, then that's even more like that makes me like him even less.
Yeah, even if it was, that might be a baseless claim. But regardless, he's the type of person to do that.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me not knowing anything about him, just assuming.
So that was something to watch on the weekend. I was very excited. I was very excited to see the updates that was coming in.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that.
And I should have worn my Orioles hat. God damn it, I have an Orioles hat.
Too late.
We went during the season where Rugnet or Dor was playing third base.
I don't know what that means. I don't know who that is.
Exactly.
Sorry. Gavin, what's this meme you posted in here?
So do you want me to show the screen that?
No, I'll have to show it in the edit anyways.
So this is a meme that was posted originally on Twitter, and I posted it on here on the doc, and someone had the original creator had deleted their account and or made it private. So I can't see what I would give credit if credit was, if credit is due, but hold on. It is from
meat something.
let's see, at meatmarket __.
Okay.
So he asked, like, which of these two people are you? Are you the type that says a circle in the triangle factory? How queer! I've never seen such a thing. I must inquire about this further with my supervisor post haste. Or are you the person that says, I guess we're doing circles now?
And what does that mean?
It's two different types of workers where it's like, are you going to report it to your manager if something goes wrong? Or are you just going to be like, well, it's not my job?
Oh, okay. And which are you?
I'm more of like, I got to go let someone know about this. Anyway, it doesn't have to be my manager, but I'm more of the type. And then a lot of people in the comments were like, how late into my shift is this happening? How often is this happening? Like people asking more clarifying questions. But it was just a funny meme that I saw this weekend, and I'm curious to know what your position is on this.
I think I'm the top one where it's like I'll bring it up if there's a problem. I think I'm also the kind of person who's like, I'm not going to be the first one because maybe there was something that I didn't know about going on. I want to tell a story where that happened recently, but I won't. But something like that did happen recently. And I was just like, is this supposed to be like this? Is this like, it was literally like, is this normal?
Is anyone else seeing that?
Yeah, it was literally like, is anybody else having this happening to them right now?
Are you making circles?
Are you making circles over there? And I didn't say anything about it for a while. And then towards the end, I was like, hey, is this normal? And then it was like, oh, no, that's not. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I should have said something sooner, I guess. That's my thing. I do, but I'm always like, I kind of wait it out.
Make sure. Yeah.
Like, let me read the room for a minute.
And then it spawned a whole bunch of offshoot comics from this, where they like go into the manager's office and they're like, the fuck do you want me to do about this? Go back to work.
Oh,
and there's ones where it's in the same style too.
Right. They made it a whole series.
Yeah. Not from the same person, but different people that started putting their own twist on it. And people were like, like an IT person was like, oh, see, I think we fixed it. And then it like makes it all like green squares or something like that. And they're like, there's like no text with it. It's just like, yeah. So it's just that kind of, it's like the work psyche,
Yeah. I'll keep my eye out for these in the funny pages.
You will. Then people made like cow tools.
Cow tools?
Don't even.
What is?
Don't even.
Now I gotta know what that means.
Look up cow tools.
Okay, looking it up.
It's from the Far Side Comics. And,
I was just gonna bring up Far Side.
It is from Far Side, and it's one of the most like obscure, not obscure, but like abstract, like Far Side Comics. That was it for the week. That was it.
Yeah, because like, what am I even looking at?
Yeah, it's like I don't know what's so funny about this, and or like. Yeah, it's just odd.
Oh, I wonder if this was, when did this come out? Because this would explain a Seinfeld episode I saw. Oh yeah, in 82. So, gosh, it's so funny like watching Seinfeld now and being like, oh man, that's really funny. Like that's such a crazy circumstance that would happen. And then like someone will be talking about something and it happened and I'm like, wait, there was a Seinfeld episode about that. And then I'm like, oh, they were pulling from what was going on in reality and like making it in their own way. And this is another example of one of those things because there's an episode where Elaine doesn't understand a comic in a newspaper and then goes up to like asks a bunch of different people, what does it mean? And they all like laugh at it. And then she's like, what is it? Like, do you know what it means? And they're like, no. But they like act like they do.
That's
So
very much what this is.
That's probably what it came from. I bet it was
Yeah.
inspired by that.
Just putting the pieces together.
right.
For
We'll
30
get
years
Larry David on
later.
the show pretty soon here.
I'll ask Daring Brands what he thinks about that.
Yeah.
So, Gavin, I know you have a big report on the Democratic National Convention. Go ahead and take it away.
You guys are gonna really want to hear this.
Tune in.
The
Lock in.
DNC is happening this week. That's what I got for you.
Wow, Gavin, that's big. Appreciate you doing that write-up about it. I know that was a lot to think about and a lot to put together because there's just so much going on with the DNC. So do appreciate
no
that.
Problem. No problem, man. I wish I was there. You know what I mean? Up there in Chicago.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
dude. Because, like, you just think about it. So moving on, we got some clips of the week that Gavin dropped in here. Oh, and Gavin won't play them too. I'm like about to open them, but that's not. That is not my job.
Play him. I'm gonna play him.
So what's this first one?
So this first one is Clownvis. I'm just gonna do.
Oh, you're doing the Clownvis one first.
I'm gonna do the Clownvis one first. That's what I got pulled up on this side.
So this one comes from this fucking clown guy, right? He's just a fucking
right.
clown.
It's loading right now, but give me a minute.
No, but I can set this. Or do you want me to set this up, or you want to set this up?
Go ahead, set it up.
Okay, so because I guess you didn't even know. It was funny. So our friend, I want to say friend of the show, but he hasn't been on yet. We do need to somehow figure out something to do with Clownvis. We've been talking about it for a while. But our friend Clownvis, who, if there's any Office Hours fans listening, will know who that is. He's been on Office Hours numerous times. But if you don't know who he is, he's actually originally from the St. Louis area, lived out here in LA for a while, back in St. Louis now. But he is to make it simple, is a clown that dresses up like Elvis, and that's his act. He does like a show. He just did one at Del Mar Hall actually, which is really cool in St.
He had
Louis.
like a week of Clownvis.
Because I think that was like right after. He has a beer with Four Hands Brewing, which is a brewing company, really good brewing company in St. Louis. But we got to, I don't need to get into the whole history of it because we talked about it on the show, but we met him through Tim and became friends with him, and we, kind of kept like bumping into him along the way and are now pals with him. But he, being a clown, is associated with the Juggalo world, which if you don't know what Juggalos are, there's a gathering of the Juggalos every year. And it came because of Juggalo bands or clown bands. I want to say clown core bands, but there's only one clown core, which is weird. You know what? I wonder why clown core is not at the gathering of the Juggalos. That's interesting.
I didn't tell you. Maybe they were touring.
I'm gonna have to do my research on that. I also think they're from like Europe. But it started with Instant Clown Posse, and then there's bands like Twisted, and there's all these like clown bands,
Right?
that are just like rap rock groups that just wear like white and black clown makeup. And Clown.
Oddly enough, Kiss didn't play at the gathering of the Juggalos.
Yeah, I'm sure ICP's makeup started because of Kiss. Like, there's so many. Like, I'm sure even Slipknot was the same way. Like, Kiss really started that all, but. Yeah, they do a gathering every year, and it's like, I'll try and be nice. The most interesting people show up for it, but our friend Clownvis, who is very normal, he's a super nice guy.
He's actually a very nice guy. Yeah,
Gavin and I were talking about this. Like, it's so fun to have him associated with the Juggalo world because he is such a very normal, down to earth person in real life. But he gets to kind of like be like a sleuth undercover and like has been posting a lot of like at the gathering and posting pictures and videos of the just absurdity that is going on there.
So this was sent to me by one of my friends, Dylan, who I went to the Cardinal game with. And I'd seen it before, but I was like, I don't know who that is. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, it's been floating around for a while, I bet, whatever.
Yeah.
But then whenever I posted in here, I'm like, oh, it's Clownvis.
Yeah, well, you posted it, and I opened it. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad you posted that video by Clownvis. I forgot all about it. And you were like, I didn't know that was even Clownvis who posted that. Because, yeah, it like blew up everywhere, which,
Yeah,
I mean,
got
no
10 million
surprise.
views.
Yeah, which is crazy, and no surprise because it's. I mean, you should just play because it's
Yeah,
It's,
all right, here, let's just-
it's insane.
yeah.
It's
Tell
so
me-
crazy.
You can hear this too, right?
Is an actual
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting.
is an actual replication of my husband's penis with his ashes in it that I have slowly been spreading around the gathering, and he's here. It is an actual replication of my.
So there's there that is. I mean,
No joke, and I wish I was kidding when I say this. I wish I didn't know about the Insane Clown Posse before I had seen this video, but we had watched a ICP gathering of the Juggalos, kind of like a short documentary in sociology class.
Really?
In college, yes, to talk about like subcultures and subgroups that kind of form this like sense of belonging for a group of people, and like even the weirdos have weirdos.
Yeah,
weirdo
exactly.
friends
Exactly.
kind of
Like when
thing.
I say
So-
weirdos, I bring that from a loving place. Like when talking
yeah,
about
like
Juggalos.
It's
and
not like
stuff.
it's not like a hate thing. It's not
No,
like a
no.
conservative.
And same thing
like-
with this person. Like, I mean, do I find it pretty disturbing that you're spreading your husband's ashes around a place that people don't really, maybe might not all be cool with that?
Or
Yes.
and also like doing it out of like an urn that's shaped like your husband's penis,
Which
is
like
a bit odd. It's a bit off key.
I
right?
gotta say,
Like-
if that was your husband's penis,
Congratulations.
congrats to you. I mean, listen, I don't swing that way. God bless you. Even as a straight man, that's pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
yeah. That's a pretty. Yeah.
Well, but I am a little bit uncomfortable with spreading the ashes around. I mean, I guess people could be doing that anywhere and we don't know, but
Yeah.
that feels a little weird to me to be
I
doing
think,
that.
I would say some of the Insane Clown Posse stuff that I've seen, some of these people were some of the friendliest people. So and they're also very like whatever, man.
Yeah, and
so,
I would.
They're like kind of like hippies, where it's like,
Right.
yeah, sure, yeah, go ahead and do that. I don't care. That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah,
You know?
it is like a weird. It's like Woodstock, but for clowns. Like
It is. Swear to God.
it's just so bizarre. I wish I could. I wish I could make a better comparison, but they all seem too much from a rude place, and I don't want to be mean about it. But yeah, go check out Clownvis's Twitter and Instagram. I think the gathering's over by now. I hope it is. But he's just been posting so much gold from the gathering, especially on his Instagram stories. I wonder if he pinned any of them, because it was just like every day was like some sort of wet t-shirt contest or like mud wrestling on a stage or something.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I thought, okay.
There was a lot. It was something. But anyways, what is this next clip that I cannot wait to watch?
Do we have to watch the whole thing, or can I just like?
We'll watch it until
Watch. Yeah.
we don't need to.
So this is from IndieWire. Robert De Niro's daughter Drina shared a video over the weekend of her father diving into the ocean to celebrate his birthday.
He named her after adrenochrome.
Wow.
Also, his birthday, what did he just turn, 91 or 92? How old is he now? I think he just turned 92, I want to say. Bobby De Niro, Gavin's on it.
Just turned 81.
Really? I thought he was in his 90s. Wow, I'm very sorry for being an ageist.
Yeah. Fuck you, dude.
Really? Only 80? I thought he was 90. Still impressive to be doing this.
Whoa.
Whoa, he's so crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God, are you all right?
I'm okay.
Oh,
I'm okay.
you sick. You're crazy. Oh my God. How many feet was this?
30.
Shit.
30 feet.
36 feet. All right, wow.
36 feet to his back.
Whoa, he's so crazy.
Okay, so I think I might need to post a side by side with that and RFK's amazing dive. I think I need to do a side-by-side post for that.
Go diving
So-
with RFK.
Right, be on the lookout for that because I might have to do that for the promo this week because that's too great to have these
That's
old
cool.
men. Old men need to not be doing things like that, especially Bobby De Niro. Like, dude, we only got like maybe 10 years left with you. Like,
Right.
let's not end it early. Like,
Take it down a notch. You know what I mean?
yeah, like chill out. If you need an adrenaline rush, just have another kid, I guess, you know. Because you just had one like a
Just
year
had
ago.
one. That,
Which is
maybe
also
he
the
jumped
thing
off
too.
with his baby.
Like, don't be doing that if you're a new fucking dad. Like, no matter what age you are, don't be diving off of a 30-foot yacht
Yeah.
as a new dad. You need to be around for
not-
the
it's
kid,
just-
whether
gotta be
you're
careful.
geriatric or you're in your 20s.
You could be a Mick Jagger too. You know what I mean? He's right up there with Mick Jagger.
That's true. He is right up there. And Sir Paul. Oh, I'm gonna go dive. I'm gonna go dive off me mega yacht.
That was really loud.
That was pretty loud. Well, great clips, Gavin.
Thank
You brought a lot to the table this week that gave me some good chuckles, so I appreciate it. Now let me chuckle you around a little bit.
Chuckle's a clown.
Yeah, speaking of clowns. Moving on to our next door drama segment, a segment we do every once in a while where we go to the infamous Next Door blog posting website and we pull a blog entry in the comments and we script it out and do a dramatic reenactment of it set to music. This week's Next Door drama is titled, Does Anyone by Chance Recognize This Person? I will be playing Lori, double checking that. Gavin will be playing Nancy, and we are just a couple of scared moms. What else can you say? Without saying much else, I'm going to hit the Next Door drama intro song, and we're going to get right into it. Here we go. This week on Next Door Drama. I don't know. I'm going to turn this down. We'll have to find that out. I can do it over here. Does anyone by chance recognize this person? I know their face is covered up, but you still might recognize their clothes, build, etc. They like to bang on our front door at inappropriate times. Did it twice tonight and almost gave me a heart attack. 11:45 p.m. and shortly after midnight. Appreciate any information.
It looks like two people, 2 men emojis, standing there.
Jack, look just above his wrist on the right side of the shot. Looks as if he's standing outside looking in.
What are you seeing that I'm not? Looks like one person with one hand leaning on the house, the other knocking on the door.
I thought he was trying to cover a doorbell camera. Anyway, I talked to law enforcement, or better yet, the officers assigned to the high schools and or middle schools. Kids seem to be getting taller.
Send the video to the police and submit a report. They have facial recognition software that can work with this type of photo, even with a mask. You may want to put another camera pointing out there when they pointing out where they came in to catch their gate or vehicle they use.
Nobody wears a face mask in the summer unless he's going to commit a crime. Inform the police. The sound of Rackeniff, a shotgun, is a nice deterrent.
He might not ever leave if he comes to my door like that. I'd switch to mama bear mode instantly. Never mess with a mama bear protecting her cub.
Never. Ever.
Never.
Never. That's what Mama Bear's thinking.
That's what mama bear's thinking.
When Mama Bear pulls out her gun, you better run, son. Yeah, so a little confusing there. That wasn't my.
Freddy Fazbear?
No, it's Mama Bear. That wasn't my best scripting, so I should have made myself another character. But yeah, immediately going into trying to decipher the photo that very obviously is just one person.
Yeah.
I don't know. This isn't like a blue dress, white dress situation.
I'm thinking maybe it's from like the shadow of his leg. Like maybe that was a reason.
Well, you know what it is? Because I remember thinking about this. You know what it is? Is they're these old idiots who are on Nextdoor. Sorry, that was a little rude. These old dumb fucking idiot. I mean, these people on Nextdoor are not used to seeing a wide angle lens. This is like their first time seeing a wide angle lens. And so they're because like literally, I guess I didn't use it, but there was literally a comment where it was like, well, I don't know. It looks like two people because why would his hand be bigger? It's because it's closer to the camera, you fucking moron. What do you mean? Like, I don't think they understand this is a doorbell camera taking a picture. Like, yeah, it doesn't compute.
Have you ever noticed that your hand looks bigger whenever you put it closer to your body, and then whenever it goes further away, it's a little bit smaller?
Yeah, but we're talking about cameras, not eyes here. Yeah, no, I think that's literally what it was. They were like, they couldn't believe how close his hand was. That they were like, there has to be another person. So yeah,
Yeah, and I can kind of see that because it's you like, okay, I'm giving him a really big benefit of the doubt here. I totally understand cameras, but like I totally understand cameras here. But if you're looking at his arm, it doesn't look like it's continuing all the way to the door. There's like his hand's so big in the shot that it cuts off half of his wrist.
Yeah.
So someone would be like, oh, well, I don't see his whole wrist in the camera shot, so that's a whole nother person.
Yeah, like I can kind of see it, but there's no other
it's
shadow.
Like, how is that humanly possible? That someone's left hand would be coming around a corner like that,
and you wouldn't be like that, and you wouldn't be able to see any of their wrist.
Yeah,
like it doesn't like. You could take 5 seconds to look at it and be like, no, I can clearly see.
Person.
Yeah, exactly. It's only the brightest on Nextdoor because it was I kid you not, a lot of comments trying to discuss whether it was one or two people.
And it's like, are we getting to the point here? The person asked if we could identify this person.
This one person. Also, you probably know better than I do because I know you're involved with law enforcement. Is there any? And by the way, that was a joke. Is there any evidence that there is facial recognition software that the police have to be able to decipher someone's face through a mask?
I don't know about through a mask, but like
it's not communist China,
right? There's like
because even they don't. Sorry to interrupt.
There's things I've seen where Atlanta police are able to identify people who like like the Stop Cop City thing that happened like a year and a half ago, where they were being identified by like their gait and stuff like that, what they were talking about. They were just basically being filmed outside of like this police training area, it looks like. But like you got to have a lot of different angles and a lot of different like possibilities, but don't want to put it like completely out of the question. But the whole point of wearing a mask, like whenever you go protesting, is that they can't recognize you. The whole point of wearing a mask whenever you commit a crime is that they can't recognize you. The whole point of wearing a mask. It's very difficult, especially like with this one, it's a little bit form-fitting. So like you could kind of maybe like enhance the photo or, do the shit that they do on the cop shows. But
like a high def picture, maybe, but this blurry ass picture, like I feel like I would be able to figure out who this person is based off other things besides using a facial recognition software.
Right.
And like what I was going to say about China, like they do have the facial recognition stuff, but
and
like,
NFL
but their
games are starting
protests
to launch it.
What's that?
NFL games are starting to launch
really?
facial recognition. Yeah.
I didn't know that. But what I was going to say is their protesters are wearing masks because of that. Like they have that advanced stuff that they're using, but yet they can't get through those masks because why else would they be wearing them?
Right.
So.
And Yeah,
I'll show this picture on screen.
It's not
too, by the way.
completely like out of the question, but it's probably a few years out.
Yeah, likely not. And the fact that that person
likely not in 2024 with the budgets that local police
local police especially, and for her to be so like for sure on that, it's like
you watch too many episodes of Bones, man.
Exactly. Stop watching Dexter or whatever.
Yeah,
you freak. Sorry. Moving on.
Bones and Dexter, I think, are like two of the like most like younger person oriented shows. I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have said like Law and Order.
What is Bones?
Or Law and Order SVU.
I don't really know.
You
what
never heard
Bones is. When you said it, I was like, yeah, Bones, and then I was like, I don't know if I know. Man, it was only. Oh, never mind. Well, I guess you can't look up Bones and then go to images, Carson. What do you think is going to show up, you fucking idiot?
Bones TV show. That's what I looked up. But they did.
Kind of vaguely.
12 seasons.
I vaguely remember this. I mean, Dexter is definitely
I was thinking
like
of CSI.
Yeah, Criminal Minds.
Yeah, CSI Crime Scene. Yeah, Crime Scene Investigation was more what I was thinking of.
But Dexter is definitely like an our age thing now. Like I think it came out a while ago, but like now, a lot of people.
A lot of people our age getting back into it.
Mm-hmm. Which good for them. I don't know. I've heard.
I need to post this. I need to post this week's stuff.
Oh, it's all good. I was thinking about that. I forgot to even ask. Speaking of, moving on to our final segment, and we're going to get out of here. What you listening to? Where Gavin and I recommend a song, album, or artist to you, the audience, and to each other every single week. Gavin, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? What are you listening to this week?
My internet is going crazy right now. I can't lie.
Uh-oh.
But this is from, again, for some reason, I mean, I think this is a phenomenon that a lot of people can agree with, is that you glom onto music you heard whenever you were in your pre-teens and your early teens. You glom onto that music. It stays with you whether you want to or not. You find the best music is during that time.
Yep.
And like, that's been reflected in studies as well. There's a lot of people where they say the best music was whenever they were a teenager.
That's how I feel about rap from our generation. From like when we were teens. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just had to say that.
I see it. I still see a lot of people tweeting that stuff, and I also see people in the comments being like Unk status for like bringing up summer 2016 again.
I mean, it was a good time.
It was a good time. But yeah. So again, I glommed onto this whenever I downloaded, whenever I was in the later years of playing GTA 5, but
here we go again.
I started to get into Radio Mirror Park, and which was kind of like the kind of like an alternative like techno kind of, or like electronic like music station.
In GTA?
Rockstar did in GTA, yes. And they really did a fantastic job with getting these songs so like ingrained in people's heads that these songs are from GTA, and like me and my friends reminisce about doing things with GTA and shit like that. I don't know, it's just shit that you do. And this one's from Radio Mirror Park, and it's a single song. I listened to the full like EP from this artist, and half of it was remixes, so I wasn't gonna recommend the whole EP, but
yeah, I hate
it's
that.
also only 3 songs. But this is and Kauf has done a lot of remixes of other people's work, and he's done some really good stuff. So this is When You're Out by Kauf. Was on Radio Mirror Park, and it always just brings me back to playing GTA at night, in the middle of summer, just
sweating,
fucking driving around and blowing shit up.
Spread eagle, sweating, got the fan on your
exactly.
crotch.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Just off camera, there's a fan under Gavin's desk.
Just off camera, I'm not wearing pants.
And there's a fan on his crotch.
Yeah.
Spread eagle. He's not chubbed or anything. He's fully flaccid.
No.
He's just cooling
you
off.
You ever had a fan blow sweet fairy kisses at your dick and balls? You
what
ever
is
seen
that
that
from? Yeah, what is that from?
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's from. Like Anchorman.
Here you go, ready?
If you never laid down on the bed butt naked and spread eagle while a fan blows sweet fairy kisses on your cock and taters, You're just missing out on key points of life. You gotta live your life, people. You gotta live your life.
But what is that from?
It's a Vine or like a TikTok, like an early TikTok.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That adds up. This week, Gavin, I did not take the nostalgia pill. Sorry to not join you. But kinda. I mean, but kinda.
In a way, you took some kind of pill.
Oh, I took a pill in Ibiza. God, that stupid fucking song. It's so dumb. I hate that he brought it up. It's kind of because I've talked about this band actually many times. And I've actually recommended, I could be wrong. Someone can correct me. I don't think I've recommended the album. I've recommended a song off this album, a song or two. And of course, I'm talking about Stray from the Path, their 2022 album, Euthanasia. I believe I recommended either Guillotine or 3, maybe even both of those songs at one point on the podcast. But that was 2 years ago. Because those songs were great. Somehow I heard those songs and either never dipped into the album or I did dip into the album and I didn't care for it. I don't know. Somehow this album came up and I was like, I don't know if I had ever listened to the full album. And I've been starting to like listen to music very quietly while I edit, just like certain videos that are just like long form, take a while. And just because it actually like helps my focus out a lot. Like I thought for a while it would be like way too much going on, and like certain edits I can't, but like long form stuff I can because it's just like monotonous at times, not all the time. But I put on this album and the first song, I like had to stop what I was doing and turn the volume up because I was like, how have I not heard this? This is fucking amazing. It's just so dark and loud and beautiful. And Needful Things is the first song on the album. I think the best song on the album, along with Chest Candy, is another great song. And Stray from the Path is really cool because they're a hardcore band that also definitely takes influences from Rage Against the Machine, because all of their songs are super political, like really like some dark political shit too, that like, I don't even know if went places that like Rage Against the Machine went, and along the same lines of that, you know, like very left-leaning politics, of course. But yeah, Needful Things. I don't know what Needful Things is about because I haven't really like listened to lyrics, just because it's musically so amazing and heavy. Chest Candy is about like army recruiters and stuff like that, and like they even use the like, I don't know what I've been told. Like they use that like rhythmically in like part of the breakdown. And at first I thought it was just like a chant, like a soccer chant. And then I listened to it and I was like, oh, that's like that. And then there's a part like before the military. Yeah. Before the breakdown, they like use audio of what I'm assuming is like an old clip of like that someone took like probably in Iraq when they were stationed over there. And it's this guy being like, if you could say one thing to your recruiter right now, what would it be? And then the song goes quiet. And then he just goes, fuck you. And then the drop, like it goes into the breakdown. But it's like it has to be a real clip that like someone took like of, you know, like literally, like I said, stationed in Iraq. Because it's like very like older audio. And it was just, it's a very like just impactful song because like I said, it uses the chants, it uses that. It's like, despite it being an amazing, heavy, hardcore album, a lot of really interesting political discussion going on in these songs. So I super recommend that. I can't believe I slept on this album. Full of bangers. It's just so good. And obviously Guillotine and 3 are super cool. So go check that out. That's enough for this week, Gavin, unless you had anything else. But I'm ready to go.
No, I don't have anything else.
Happy to be back in our rhythm of doing these shows, man. It's certainly a highlight, especially this week being super busy. I know we went longer than we were planning, but I'm honestly okay with that because this was a good, fun escape.
Takes a minute. Takes a minute to get readjusted to the virtual world, but it's still great because I can just straight up pull up the clips and not have to show my phone.
Yeah, it makes a lot of things easier, especially once we get settled into it. But yeah, it feels like we're just picking up where we left off, baby. But we got to figure out these taste tests, man. We got to get these Coke Oreos, dude. Yeah. We got to get these Coca-Cola Oreos and this Oreo Coke and everything. I'm so excited to be hearing about
Coke
it for a while.
and the Coca-Cola Oreo and the Oreo with the Coke.
And the we got to get it.
You're going to have to get some regular Oreos because I'm probably going to dip Oreo in some Coke to see if it tastes like that.
Oh, that's a good idea. We got to get it though, man. I'm too excited. It's
I
going to
did
be
sign up for like a pre-order.
Oh, you did? Okay. I didn't do that. I probably should. Because my fear with being out here is everybody is an influencer. Everybody's got to try all the new stuff. It's going to be hard for me to get it. On one hand, I'm like, it might be harder to get stuff, but it might be easier because I feel like they'll like push it to our market more than Missouri. Because Missouri, we'd always get our shit late.
We get it like 3 weeks late. Yeah.
And it was like, I don't want this shit late. I need my Coke Oreos right fucking now.
Fuck this shit, man. I'm gonna cut this shit all